For centuries, the new idea was a strictly human thing. Think about it. Gravity, relativity, all these breakthroughs came from the minds of brilliant people. But what if the next great leap forward doesn't come from a human brain at all? Today we're asking, can an AI actually be creative? Can it come up with something genuinely new? Okay, let's dive in. So first, we gotta understand the problem we're facing. This number right here, that's roughly how many scientific papers get published every single year. It's a flood of data so massive that no human, not even a huge team of them, could possibly read and connect all the dots. I mean, the answers to our biggest questions might already be out there, just buried in all that noise. And this leads to a really strange paradox. We have more scientists than ever before, more funding, more data, you name it. So why does it feel like those huge, fundamental, world-changing discoveries are getting harder and harder to come by?
Well, that feeling actually has a name. Some people are calling it a productivity crisis in science. It's this sense that we've kind of hit a wall built by just how complex the problems are now, and, well, the limits of our own human minds. Let's break that down a bit. I mean, compared to just 50 years ago, making a big discovery takes way bigger teams and just costs an insane amount more money. The sheer amount of information is completely overwhelming our ability to process it. And here's the kicker. Our own intuition, the very thing that sparked so many revolutions in the past, is starting to become the bottleneck. But if human intuition is the problem, what if the solution isn't just more humans? What if we could build a totally new kind of research partner? This is where a new character enters the story, the machine muse. Let me tell you a quick story that just perfectly illustrates this. There was a physicist, Mario Kren, and his team, and they were trying to set up this incredibly complex quantum experiment, and they were just stuck, completely. For weeks, these brilliant people could not figure out the solution they knew had to be there. So, what they do? They turn the whole problem over to an algorithm they nicknamed the machine. And the result was, honestly, it was stunning. What took these brilliant scientists weeks of just pulling their hair out, the AI solved in a matter of hours. It found a solution that the humans had totally overlooked. Now really think about what that means. This wasn't just about being faster. The machine didn't just help them find the answer, it literally generated the core concept. The scientists themselves said it flat out. The main idea did not come from a person. And this isn't just a one-off, lucky guess. Look at something like Google DeepMind's AlphaFold. It can predict the ridiculously complex 3D shapes of proteins, a task that used to take scientists their entire careers, and it does it in seconds. It is a genuine revolution in biology, and it's powered entirely by AI. Okay, so it seems pretty simple then, right? The machines are just better. But this brings us to the most critical and honestly the most fascinating question in all of this. Is this real genius? Or is it just a superpowered calculator? Can the machine actually understand what it's discovering? Here's the crucial point. According to skeptics like the cognitive scientist Gary Marcus, he says AI is absolutely amazing at finding new patterns and connections inside a known set of data, what he calls a staggeringly huge box. But what it can't do, at least not yet, is what Einstein did, throw the whole box away and invent a totally new one. It doesn't really think outside the box. There was this really clever experiment out of Harvard that just perfectly shows the difference between predicting something and truly understanding it. And it's all about planets. Okay, so here's what the researchers did. They fed an AI a bunch of data about how planets move. The AI learned all the patterns and got incredibly good, like flawless, at predicting where the planets would be in the future. Perfect predictions. But when they peeked inside the AI's brain to see how it was doing it, they just found chaos. It hadn't discovered the simple, elegant law of gravity. Nope. Instead, it had created what they called a messy pile of rules, a brute force solution with zero deep insight. And this lack of real understanding, it leads to a very serious risk, hallucination. This is when an AI, in its quest to find patterns, just makes stuff up. It might spit out a scientific paper that looks totally real or a molecule that seems plausible, but it's all complete fiction. This AI slop is a real danger for the future of research. So, where does all this leave us? Are we doomed to choose between our slow human intuition and these fast but kind of clueless machines? Well, the most exciting answer is that that's the wrong way to look at it. The future isn't a competition, it's a collaboration.
We are entering the age of the symbiotic partnership. Think of AI not as a replacement for the scientist, but as the ultimate research buddy, right? A tool that can sift through millions of papers, spot connections we'd never see, and test crazy ideas at lightning speed, all while being guided by human expertise and intuition.
And hey, this isn't science fiction. This is happening right now. There are these things called self-driving labs, like A-Lab and MINERVA. These are fully robotic labs that can dream up their own experiments, run the tests 24/7 without any humans needing to be there, and then learn from the results to plan what to do next. It's wild.
The ambition here is just incredible. Right now, today, this partnership is just getting started. But the long-term goal, it's called the Nobel Turing Challenge. And the idea is to develop an AI system that, by the year 2050, can, all by itself, make a discovery that's worthy of a Nobel Prize.
So in the end, AI isn't really replacing the human mind. It's more like a new kind of microscope or telescope, a tool that lets us see the universe in a completely new way and push further than we ever could on our own. The real question isn't human versus machine anymore, it's what can we discover together?